Guys, it's over. It's over. Paraguay is cooked. The glory days are behind us. Don't even come. Like, honestly, yeah, just don't even come to Paraguay anymore. It's done. Just kidding. Just kidding. Obviously, I'm kidding. What I want to do in this video is prevent some of you guys from having a ridiculous overreaction like that. And I want to talk about Resolution 407, the new changes that they made to the residency process, and tell you why I don't think it's that big of a deal. So stay tuned. This one might be a little bit controversial, might have some takes on the hotter side, but that's what makes it fun, right? So first thing, I'm going to give you a super high level overview as to what Resolution 407 is, like what the changes are, and then I'll dive into why I think you're fine. So essentially, the changes stem in the transition from temporary residency to permanent residency. So in case you don't know, when you get your residency in Paraguay, right, when you go from not being a resident at all to having a residency, you are getting a 2-year temporary residency. With that, you get your residency card, you can get your cedula, you can get your RUC, you can open up a bank account, you're a resident. But it only lasts 2 years. After those 2 years, you can either renew it for another 2 years, which most of us don't want to do. We don't want to be temporary residents forever, or you can upgrade to permanent residency, which lasts 10 years. So it's that transition, right? The getting the residency part hasn't changed, but going from temporary to permanent has changed. So what are the changes? Super simple breakdown is economic solvency. That's the long and short of it. They want to know that you have money, right? That you can support yourself. Now, economic solvency requirements have been a thing in many countries for many years, right? Like internationally, this is nothing new. But Paraguay for a long time has been, an anomaly on the international stage when it comes to residency in general. This is part of the reason why it's so popular. And now it's becoming just a little bit less of an anomaly, and this is a trend that's going to continue going forward. So how do you actually prove it? Essentially, there's two main ways. One, you can pay taxes for 3 months, right? You can declare income locally and pay local Paraguayan taxes for 3 months, or you can prove your income from abroad, right? There's still zero tax on foreign first income, but they want to actually know that you have money coming in from abroad, and you can prove that by providing documentation. So with the taxes part, that might sound scary. I'm not a tax professional. I do know a little bit about how it works. I know enough to give you some good pointers. I'm not going to go into that here, but I'm not a tax professional whatsoever. If you do want some advice, reach out to me on Instagram. Check out the link below if you want to hop on a call. I can give you a little bit of help, or I can point you to someone in the direction of someone who can give you better help. But the long and short of it is it's not going to be that much, right? It will be a fraction of what you might be used to paying in your Western country. If you're from a Western country. So from like a dollars, out of your bank account, money out of your bank account perspective, it's not going to be that bad. There's a lot of legal ways, just like many other countries' tax systems, there's a lot of legal ways to reduce your net tax liability. Proving your foreign sourced income, that's just a matter of showing documentation, right? It's a little bit of a burden. Yes, you have to generate it. There's a bunch of ways you can go about it. It doesn't necessarily have to be like an online job. Investments qualify, research it further to find some of the more specific qualifications. But yeah, you got to show them, okay, yeah, I got money. So here is where people start to, now we're going to dive into my take on it. Here's where people start to have a problem. Either A, they just don't want to, they don't want to pay anything in taxes at all, and they think that paying something is worse than paying nothing, which sure, it objectively is, but they just want to pay absolutely zero. Or B, they don't like giving up a little bit of privacy to the government in terms of what they earn. Who does this actually affect? Like, who is actually going to be inconvenienced by this to a much larger extent than they thought that they were going to be? It's people who get their residency and leave and just have it as a means to either pay less taxes to their home country, right? They become a tax resident of Paraguay in order to not pay taxes to their home country. Or B, they just put it in their back pocket and they keep it just in case, right? As a plan B. So if that's you, then yeah, understand that now your process to go to permanent will be a little bit more involved. You're going to have to involve yourself a little bit more by either providing the documentation or paying taxes. You might have to make a trip here to Paraguay. That I'm not exactly sure. I don't know how in person or not in person you need to be, but you have to be a little bit more involved. So yeah, in short, it's someone who wants to use the Paraguayan, the advantageous Paraguayan residency and tax system and not contribute to the country at all. This is where I personally start to think, oh well, good luck. Like, if that's you, I don't feel that bad for you, honestly. Now, everybody has the right to do this. Paraguay is offering this for a reason, and if that's you, like, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but just understand that if you are going to receive this level of benefit from the country of Paraguay, I personally think you shouldn't be too upset if you are expected to provide a little bit of value in return. Whether that be in the form of paying a little bit of taxes, right? Giving them a little bit of money to put towards the roads, or showing them, hey, I am a real person, I am who I say I am, and here's the amount of income I have, the amount of income I make from abroad, right? But yeah, it's like, it's not that big of a deal. If you are somebody who lives here or who spends significant time here, chances are you're gonna wanna have your rook and be filing anyways, right? To qualify for financial products, to run a business, to set up an entity, a legal entity, to make purchases, right? Like, paying towards the system is beneficial in a lot of ways. Most of us have our Bueno bank account, our Itaú bank account already, right? So this is just a natural progression that a lot of us have already taken. Like, I'm sure a lot of you who live here are gonna think, okay, I already do that. Cool, doesn't affect me, right? Or even if you use Paraguay as like a base and you're traveling around, you might have already be paying taxes here as well, right? After all, your goal is to become a tax resident from the point of view of your home country. Well, then pay a little bit in taxes, or yeah, just provide proof of your income. Again, not that bad, but it's that person who just wants they want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to have their cake and eat it too. And here's the problem. Over the course of time, as these residency applications become more and more popular, inevitably the government will put on some sort of constraints. Whether or not that's justified, I don't know. That's up to you to determine. But if they are getting thousands and thousands of residencies from people who just get it and don't contribute anything in return, maybe they'll start to realize, and maybe they are starting to realize, this is just me, don't quote me, it makes logical sense to me that they would start to think, okay, why do we keep doing this? Like, yes, we want to stimulate foreign investment. Great, they're doing that, 100%. But as I've said many times in my content, the stimulation of foreign investment and the stimulation of demand towards Paraguay in general, right, of activity towards Paraguay, of recognition of Paraguay goes way beyond just the residency, right? It's the culture, it's the land, it's the people, it's the growth, it's the future, right? It's the energy. Like, there's so many reasons why this place is being invested in that aren't just residency, but the residency helps. So I'm thinking, okay, like maybe we're getting a little bit more foreign investment by offering this ridiculously easy residency. But now we're starting to see that a bunch of people are just taking it and running. They're just taking it and running. And how about instead of just handing it out like candy to anybody who wants to take it and run, we set it up in a way where those who want to contribute a little bit to the country or who want to spend some time in the country are still largely unaffected. So we can still offer it as an easy entry to those who do want to come and provide real value, right? And experience this place and meet friends and put some money down and spend in the local economy and create jobs and create opportunity. Let's make it largely, let's make it largely unaffected for those people. And those are people who want to take their cedula woo and get on the plane and just not care at all about what's happening back here. We'll make it a little bit harder for them. Now again, I'm completely speaking from just my own personal intuition. I don't know if that's what they're actually thinking. I don't know. But if it were up to me, I would do that. I would agree. I personally think that the residency should be in a nice middle ground, to the point where if you have the desire to come here and contribute to here, you should be able to easily do so. They shouldn't put a bunch of, some other countries have ridiculous requirements, right? You gotta spend a bunch of money, you gotta prove a bunch of income, you gotta just jump through a bunch of hurdles just to live here, right? Let alone all the other stuff. So let's keep it easy for those of us who want to actually contribute to this place, but let's not oversaturate the system and oversaturate the lines at Migraciones and create this whole economy, which may or may not all be legal activity of people applying for residencies, with people who don't even care. They're getting their cedula and they're leaving, right? And again, I personally think that for you to get the benefits of what Paraguay is offering from a fiscal standpoint, it's not unreasonable to be asked to provide a little bit in return. And bro, again, I don't think World War III is gonna break out, but I would hate for World War III to break out and to see a bunch of gringos to come through who don't know anything about this place, who got their residency 10 years prior, who don't speak the language. And they're just like, all right, I'm here now. Yeah, anyways, como, donde está el baño? Nah. Go somewhere else, right? Unless you've contributed to the country, right? Unless you've provided value to the country, then I welcome you with open arms. So that's my take on it. In short, I think it only affects that very niche of person who just really wants to use the system while being completely disconnected from the country itself. And yeah, if, again, I spoke like as a hypothetical on behalf of the government. I do not speak on behalf of the government. I do not know what they're doing. This is not legal advice. This is not tax advice. This is just a guy who spends all of his days in Paraguay, who loves Paraguay, speaking from his heart. And yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Do you think, is what I'm saying, is it ridiculous? Is there a type of person or type of scenario that maybe I'm overlooking, of maybe somebody who does want to be a contributor to the country but is negatively impaired by this? Let me know down below. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? How is this going to impact you personally? If you were on the fence about coming to Paraguay, are you actually going to not come anymore? Come on, don't be ridiculous. But that's your right. That's your right. If this actually was the straw that broke your camel's back, fair enough. I just think you have a really weak camel. And yeah, let me know. Reach out to me on Instagram at S1Expat if you want to connect with me personally. Stay in touch for other amazing Paraguay content, and I'll see you soon.